Hello everyone. Today I will be showing you around our Starbase and showing important places such as the vendors selling fleet gear and where we hold our weekly meetings. To start with, I will show you where the Starbase is. It can be found in the Eta Eridani block, and you can find that by going straight south from the Sol system. And specifically, it is in the Aldebaran sector of the Eta Eridani block, in the bottom middle of that sector, which is right here. And the Fleet Starbase system looks like this. This is not what our Fleet Starbase looks like, but this is the model they've chosen to have out in sector space. And now I will approach our Starbase and show you around. This is the map of the Federation Fleet Starbase system. In the middle of the map, you'll find our Fleet Starbase, and in each of the directions you'll find a facility. These are things such as the Transwarp Gate and shipyards. Most of these you cannot interact with. The exception is the Transwarp Gate up at the top of the map. From this Transwarp Gate, you can transwarp to several destinations in Federation, Cardassian, and Romulan space. And this lovely piece of eye candy is our Fleet Starbase, which I will now beam down to. When you first beam down to the Starbase, you will appear on the Ops level. And I'm going to quickly go over where things are on the Ops level. The first place you'll appear is in the transporter room. And as you go around the map, you'll find that we have a dance floor with a DJ, as well as a bar area. And then over here on the west side of the map, you'll find sort of the command room for the Starbase. In there you'll find the Officer of the Watch, who gives a daily mission for some free fleet marks, as well as bank facilities and mail. And as we continue going around, you'll find the turbo lift, which will take you to other areas of our Starbase. And then this, up at the north end of the map, is the room everybody wants to know about. Here you can find the vendors for the elite fleet gear, which will give you advanced weapons for your starship, as well as ground gear and other consumables for space battles or ground battles. And next to that is the holodeck, which at the moment is not used for anything. So now I'll actually show you around and how to find all of this stuff. If you transwarped in from the Sirius sector block, you will return to the Sirius sector block. You can also transwarp to several other fleet facilities. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you around. Right in here you'll find our lovely atrium. And I'm going to go up this ramp right here to show you to our bar area, where you can get most of the same stuff you can get from other bar vendors. You can also come over here to our dance floor, and you can either tell the DJ to start or stop. And as you come around, you can try and carry on the long tradition of talking with our Morn and having deep intellectual conversations, I'm sure. And now if you go straight from the transporter room, which is over there, across, you'll come to this hallway, and this is where you'll find the Officer of the Watch. As I said earlier, this guy gives you a mission that will reward you 5 fleet marks. It usually only takes about a minute or two, and that mission has a 20-hour cooldown. Next to him, if you go to this console, you can contact Lieutenant Farah, who is the duty officer contact on at Starfleet Academy. And right here, if you come to this console, you can turn in any extra commendation points that you have, over 100,000, and turn those into fleet marks. And this personnel officer here will let you purchase the fleet duty officers. Now, please keep in mind those do cost fleet credits, not fleet marks and not EC. And as you go around the outside of the room, you'll find that the mail can be accessed right here. And you can access your bank here. And this is not only your personal bank, but also your account bank and the fleet bank. And now we're going to head back out into the atrium area. And we're going to head towards the north end of the map. Right there is the turbo lift, which will take you to the rest of the starbase. We will be coming back to that in a minute. But first we're going to show you into the requisitions area. As I said earlier, this is where all of the vendors are. This vendor right here will give you access to the elite fleet space gear. This vendor will give you access to tailor facilities, as well as allow you to purchase the Odyssey costume for your characters. This vendor will give you access to consumables that you can use. Now these aren't the normal consumables like healing. These are things like engineering team that will affect all of your teammates and that sort of thing. And this vendor gives you access to the fleet ground weapons and other equipment. So you can get your shields, elite weapons, and armor here. So now we come out of this tunnel, and if we turn this way, you can see the holodeck is down here. As I said, it's not currently being used for anything, and I hope Cryptic will eventually change that. But for the moment, we're going to leave the holodeck and go back to the other side and into the turbo lift. And we'll start off by showing the engineering level. Okay, so as you can tell from the lovely yellow color of the floor, this is the engineering level. On this level, you can gain access to a NPC who can heal your starship, as well as one who can change the look of your starship. These are the same NPCs that you can find on pretty much any starbase. You can also gain access to 3 of the duty officer contacts, including a Tellarite personnel officer who will allow you to get 1 free Tellarite duty officer about once a week. This shares a cooldown with the Tellarite duty officer back on Starfleet Academy, so you can't do both. Okay, so we're going to start off by going straight out of the turbo lift and over here. This is the officer to talk to if you want to change how your ship looks. Over here is the Tellarite duty officer that I was talking about a few minutes ago. And right in the middle of this room, you can gain access to the crafting system. Back in this far corner is the ship repair officer, so you can talk to him if your ship ever gets damaged. And over across the room from the Tellarite officer is the operations officer, which is a duty officer contact. He normally has a lot of the same missions that your operations officer on your ship will have. And as we go down this hallway, you can come in here, and right up against this wall is the engineering officer, who will have a lot of the same missions that your engineer will have. And now we'll head back to the turbo lift and go to the science level. So as you can see from the lovely blue carpeting, this is the science level. And on here you'll find some of the NPCs like you would find on a starbase, including an officer who can heal injuries to your captain, as well as an officer who can help you respec, and an officer who can train your bridge officers. Now these are the same NPCs you'd find on a starbase. They do the same thing, so there's nothing extra that you get by coming to these officers. In addition to that, you can find 3 duty officer contacts. One of them is the medical contact, as well as the science contact. And then there's also the Vulcan personnel officer, who will give you 1 free Vulcan duty officer. That one, like the Tellarite officer, shares a cooldown with the one at Starfleet Academy. So now I will show you around. I'm going to start by heading to the south here. And as you come in here, you'll find the bridge officer trainer is right here. We're going to come through the door and go back out. And through this door, right over here, you'll find the medical officer. From this person, you can get the medical duty officer missions. And as you go around into the office here, you'll find the medical treatment officer. This is who you need to talk to if your captain gets any injuries, and it functions just like at any other starbase. So now we're going to leave that room, and we're going to head to the room at the north. And as you come in here, you'll find the Vulcan personnel officer is right here, as well as the science officer right here. So you talk to the science officer and you'll get science duty officer missions. And right here you can talk to the skill trainer to respec your captain. And that works just like the skill retrainer at every starbase, and it will require a respec token. So now we're going to head down to the tactical level. So this is the tactical level, and there are actually a whole lot fewer NPCs on this level. But one of the things you may have noticed that was missing on the engineering level, where you could heal your ship and change the way your ship looks, is that you could not select your starship. That NPC can be found on this level. In addition to that, you can find the security officer and the tactical officer for duty officer missions, as well as an Andorian personnel officer. He works just like the Tellarite and Vulcan officers on the other levels, and shares that cooldown with the officer on Starfleet Academy. So now I will show you around. Unlike the other levels that all had several rooms, this level only has one big room. And you go through this door, and we'll start off by heading to this corner. And right here you can talk to the security officer to get the security duty officer missions. And we'll head up here real quick. And here you can talk to the Andorian duty officer. And now we'll head down here. You can talk to the tactical duty officer. Which leaves only one other NPC on the entire starbase. And that is this person right here. This is the ship shuttle requisitions, as well as the ship selection officer. So these were the two things that were missing from the engineering level, and they can be found right here. And so now we will return to the ship. As I said, you cannot just beam out from here. You actually have to go back to ops and to the transporter room. But I'm going to go ahead and skip showing you all that.